guys, Cara here, Sam on the run. I'm having an awesome week. So I started my new job on Monday. This is day 3. From next week I'll just be working 3 days a week. This week I'm working 4. Hubby's working at home a lot this week, so kids have got a kind of base when they're going out to play with friends and coming back. We have had, I don't know if I'm just excited about the job, but I'm finding parenting at home a lot easier this week. I think because I've got something back for me again. So from finishing up my last job full time, I've had the whole of July off, and you know, there's been really tough moments in it, there's been glorious moments too, but I think this week especially I have just been really loving being back at work and having something for me again. So finding parenting a lot easier this week. Do you find that? Do you find that when you've got something for you, that things that maybe would ordinarily trigger your nervous system when you're working or you're being, with your autistic, ADHD, neurodivergent children, do you find that when you've got something for you that your nervous system is not as triggered? Because that's what I find. I mean, we'll almost settle into a routine and then I'll be triggered like normal. But yeah, so we have Harry grounded today. So yesterday he went to an area that we don't like him going to, but he's got his watch on. We know he's safe, but you know, we don't like him going there because he usually ends up in fights, and it's not always other children's fault. You know, Harry is Harry's Harry. So yeah, he went to this area and there was a house where people had moved out and had left a lot of like rubbish and bits behind. Harry's very into Pokemon just now, and him and some of the other kids went in and had a rummage around and there was lots of Pokemon stuff. He then said he was popping around to Grandma and Papa's house. They live in the same street as us. He was popping around there to get his Pokemon folder, and he went missing. He had taken his watch off at home and went off. Now this is at 8:30 in the evening, and my hubby had to go out looking for him, and it turns out that he had gone back to this abandoned house in the garden, not in the house, but in the garden, and come back with more Pokemon stuff. So he is grounded today, and he has a curfew of 8 o'clock while it's still fairly light. An 8 o'clock curfew, we check up on him so often with his watch, just checking his location. If it bounces off a different satellite and it's not showing him to be in the area he's allowed in, then we call him immediately. So he does have limitations on where he can go, how long he's allowed out, and we check up on him so frequently as well. Faith is having a decent week. She hurt her leg, which meant that she couldn't walk, she couldn't move around, she couldn't get anything for herself. I of course jest. She had a small bump in the leg, but in her head she then couldn't do all these things and we had to run about after her like she was the Queen of Sheba. So apart from that, she's been great. She's been hanging out with her friend, she gets on with really well. So yeah, it's been a decent week. Kids are back to school next week, although it'll just be Harry. We're just waiting to hear about his taxi provision, hoping he gets the same taxi driver as last year, who was amazing with him, absolutely incredible with him. So hoping to hear in the next few days if he has that taxi driver. With Faith, we're still waiting on mediation, so I'm off work on Friday. I'm going to get in contact with our solicitor then to see if we should be pursuing it through the MSP or what we should be doing. So I just feel like silence is really quite worrying, quite concerning, but hopefully in the next few weeks we'll have, you know, some sort of direction where we know where we're going. Lovely catching up. Take care and speak soon. Bye.